And yes, even though it is hoop scoop time, there's no way in the world we're going to talk sports and overlook what is happening this weekend, Jason.
Yeah, an exciting sports weekend. I don't know how you're going to encapsulate all this into one segment, but I've got my Tiger Hawk socks on, by the way, to divert from the from the basketball world.
Keep going there. You look at the Tiger Hawk.
Very nice,
on top.
yeah. So I'm ready to go. But
like Cat in the Hat a little bit. Right?
Yeah, a little Dr. Seuss going on there. Yeah,
that works. So
I was a little worried. I thought you were going to stretch the leg.
Obviously, we got to talk about this game. Look at the great start time, 7:17 tomorrow night. So Saturday night's all right for fighting, apparently.
Well, I'm glad about the nighttime start because I'm going to be in Ohio with the Drake basketball team, but we play a 3 o'clock game, so we'll be coming back, and we'll get back in town about 8 o'clock, so we'll get to watch the game. But obviously, this is the game everybody's talking about, Iowa and Michigan State. And you know what's interesting? I was talking about this yesterday on my radio show with Ivan Maisel from ESPN. You know, it's an indoor game. This game is played inside. Normally, these games are like 42 to 38, 50 to 40, whatever, something like that. But these are two smash mouth teams who play great defense, both Michigan State and Iowa. So you're probably looking at more like a 17 to 14 game.
I'm looking for. I mean, I agree there. You look at them on paper; they're almost identical on their statistical. The thing that I like a little bit here, motivation factor. Everybody's downplaying Iowa on the media side, and that is just going to generate more for Iowa to get, show everybody wrong. Michigan State's going to have to combat that. And I mean, I'm sure the coaching staffs on both sides, one saying, let's use this as motivation. The other one says, hey, they are using this as motivation. Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
Except that you shouldn't need that.
No.
If you're in Iowa, and Kirk Ferentz doesn't have to tell the Hawkeyes that, oh, by the way, everybody's picking Michigan State. You don't need to use that at this point of the season. I mean, it's there. They know it.
They
understand that.
They're being dissed.
Yeah, they know that. They've been doing it all year long. I mean, this has been a constant theme for weeks. Paul Feinbaum saying the other day that Iowa has no chance.
Well,
Seriously?
actually, you guys want to know something? I actually think that's good. Because
I do too.
Because they're used to it.
Can you imagine how full that bulletin board is over there?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the kids are going to use it as bulletin board. The coaches may not, but the kids are definitely going to use that. And the thing I look for improvement in Iowa, because really last Saturday wasn't a great game against Nebraska. Defensively, I thought they did a really good job. I mean, they've bent and not broken all year. But Beathard just didn't seem like Beathard last Saturday in the passing game. I mean, I don't know if there was injuries, if he was sick. Nobody said anything.
It was a cold.
I mean, his balls didn't look sharp.
No, somebody said something. It was the announcers. They were so pro-Nebraska, it made you want to throw up. So
I saw your post about that. I did see that. But you know what? The key is going to come down, and this is going to sound crazy because it always does. But really, it's the quarterback play this week. As Connor Cook came back from shoulder injury, threw the ball very well last week. Now, he threw the ball over the top. Now, Iowa's got to be able to stop that. First of all, they got to stop the run. Each team's going to try to stop the other team's running game. So force the other team to pass. Beathard has struggled a little bit, but he's getting healthier. That's the other thing. I mean, he's been injured for a while. So if he can get around and just then, use the tight ends, Tavon Smith, guys like that. I mean, I'm going to favor the Hawks to win the game, and why wouldn't it be crazy in the state of Iowa to pick Michigan State?
Yeah, we'd throw you out of here if you did.
Exactly. So I'm going to pick the Hawks to win this game, but it should be very entertaining. Again, if you love defense, man, this is your kind of game.
This is just one of those seasons, if you're a Hawk fan or if you're just a state of Iowa fan, you just enjoy the ride. Whatever happens. And I mean, maybe we'll see 13-0 in the semifinals and maybe not, but this has been a fun ride. You don't see these seasons.
All right, so Iowa, good luck to them. Now, UNI is
Northern
also
Iowa.
playing Portland State.
Hot.
That's a cool logo for Portland State. Too bad it's not going to help them win.
No. Northern
Very
Iowa's
similar to the Panther, too. Okay, go ahead.
Northern Iowa's won 6 in a row. And we talked about this early on. Their early schedule was brutal. So, a lot of people looked at that and went, maybe this isn't a very good Northern Iowa team. Plus, I think they needed that tough schedule to get better because they had a new quarterback who had never played, Aaron Bailey, who's getting better and better. He was named, I think, Newcomer of the Year in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. They're playing better. Their defense is playing better. And again, they're rolling right now. And remember, they play one of the best conferences in FCS, in the Missouri Valley Conference. You got North Dakota State, you got Illinois State. I like the Panthers in this game to go up there. Now, it's going to be tough on the road at Portland State, and they're 9-2. Wow. So this is not going to be an easy game for them by any stretch of the imagination. But the Panthers, they've been here before, and they get better in November under Mark Farley. So I'm going to be a homer again, and I'm going to go with the Panthers. Why not at this point? They're hot.
There you go.
Yeah, the only hump they have to get over is winning that fourth quarter. It seemed like their losses have been the last drive or the last,
Okay.
So they have to win that fourth quarter battle down the stretch because they've been in every game, even in those losses. They had chances and probably could have won half of those games.
Except for the only one they weren't really in was Iowa State, and then I think it was there was one other game they lost by a couple touchdowns. But other than that, North Dakota State, they were down by 3. They lost.
All right, this is Hoop Scoop, so we need to talk a little hoops here. What do we have?
Well, you want to start with the high school stuff?
Oh, high school basketball underway in December. I just kind of pay attention to see what's happening. They get their feet wet, but I wait till January to go. Last year, of course, North Scott, Dubuque Wahlert, Trainer, and Gladbrook Rhinebeck won the boys' titles from 4A to 1A. On the girls' side, we had Waukee from right here in central Iowa, Harlan, Nevada, Unity Christian of Orange City, and Newell Fonda. They're the defending state champs, and so everybody's going to probably keep an eye on them. I know I went to the Kiwanis Jamboree. There's a freshman at Valley on the girls' side. Believe me, her mailbox will be full when she's all said and done. She's one of the best freshmen in all the years that I've covered high school sports that I've seen. So keep an eye on the Valley Tigers. I think they're going to be something with this young lady at the she's kind of a multitask player. She's got size, but she can handle the ball. So it's going to be a fun year. Johnston's going to be very good. They were young last year, and they got to the state tournament. I think you're going to watch out for them. Of course, Dowling Catholic's always good. Waukee will be good. Southeast Polk. The same names on the girls' side. On the boys' side, West Des Moines Valley, they've got a couple kids back in Turner Scott and Quentin Curry that'll be very good leading there. Watch out for a kid in Perry and Shamond Ivory. Over at Bondurant, Farrar, Dylan Story, and Doug Heritage at Dallas Center Grimes. They'll be big parts of their team. I-35's got a girl and a guy that's going to be good. Jalen White on the boys' side and Gracie Griglione, who I think Iowa State's in on. I don't know if that's going to happen, so keep an eye on them as well. There's a whole lot going on, but just a quick synopsis of good basketball, but December, they're getting off of volleyball and football. It's not the time you really worry about a lot of things.
All right, in college, we have Iowa taking care of
Well, we've got Iowa. Yeah, Iowa. Well, actually, every team in the state is at least 500, and all the men's teams are over the 500 mark. You've got Iowa coming off a win over Florida State in overtime in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, which the Big Ten used to lose that every year, but now they're winning it, which is cool. And Iowa this week has to play. They have to play UMKC. I know about the Fighting, they're not the Fighting Kangaroos. They're just the Kangaroos.
The Kangaroos. Oh.
But anyway, Drake lost to them, which actually was probably a good loss for Drake because it's really awakened the sleeping giant. But Iowa's got to play UMKC, and then they've got to play Western Illinois. But then come next week, Thursday.
That's going to be the big one.
It's Iowa State, Iowa up in Ames.
Oh, it's a Thursday night. Okay.
Right, because Iowa State they play Buffalo on Monday night. They really shouldn't have any trouble with them. I mean, they're number 4 in the country. They're 7-0, so they shouldn't really have any trouble with them. But Iowa State's always fun. You have to favor the Cyclone just because it's at Hilton. For that reason, and they're probably the better team. I don't think there's any question they're a better team right now. But it's always a good rivalry game, and we love to see Iowa State play anyway.
Yeah, they seem to be in the zone. Iowa State does.
Iowa State?
Yeah.
Well, I heard Steve Prohm talk about this the other day, that they have actually Red Peterson wrote about this in the Register. They have small ball and big ball. When Jameel McKay's in there, they go a little bigger, and when you take him out, they go a little smaller, and they just kind of rotate things around, which is good. Little alteration, adjustments.
Versatile.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just pounce through the remaining games.
Then we got. I'll mention UNI. They've got to play. They go on the road for a couple games. They go to Richmond. They take on the Spiders. And George Mason, the Patriots. So they're going to Virginia, and a couple games for them. I don't know that much about Richmond. Richmond's usually pretty good. Usually pretty good. So is George Mason. So these will be good tests for them on the road. And then Drake goes on the road. We go to Bowling Green. We're going to play the Falcons, who beat Drake last year, but they have a new head coach. There was a little bit of a scandal. So their first-year head coach was bounced, and they've got a bunch of new players. So they're certainly a beatable team. And then Drake comes home and plays DePaul.
Oh, really?
Well,
how's DePaul this year?
Not very good.
Okay.
They brought back their old coach, Dave Leto, I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah, well, he had Oliver Purcell. Before him was Dave Leto. So the way I heard the story was that they pretty much called Dave and said, Dave, we need a coach. Are you interested in doing it again? And he came back.
All right.
So we should have beaten him last year. We're going to beat him this year.
Okay, well,
get 2 wins.
Give him a second shot.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. Great job as always.